So students, moving on to a very important topic of 8051 interrupts. Okay, so whenever any device needs the service, the device notifies the microcontroller by sending an interrupt signal, and the microcontroller interrupts whatever it is doing and it services the device. So that is the concept of interrupts. In polling method, what we saw, the microcontroller monitors the status of the device, and it cannot assign any priority to the device. It will be just monitoring the status of the device in a round robin fashion. Okay, by step one device it will be monitoring, and by using that it will be providing the service. Okay, whichever device asks for service, it will be providing. Here the time of the microcontroller will be wasted, or it will not be utilized efficiently. So what they went with the concept of interrupts. So whichever device want the service, it will interrupt the microcontroller. So microcontroller will stop the work whatever it is doing, okay, and it will go and provide the service, and it will come and resume its work. That is the concept. So nearly we have 6 interrupts here in microcontroller. The first one is interrupts, and its locations are shown on the whiteboard here. First one is the reset interrupt. Okay, and its address is 000H. All addresses are in hexadecimal. First is reset. Okay, that is 000H. You might have observed still in lab programs, whenever we start with 00H, we'll give a short jump, because that address 000H is stored for reset. Okay, that it is stored for that interrupt. Next is external hardware interrupt INT0, and its RAM location is 0003H. Okay. Next is timer interrupt, that is timer 0. Next is external interrupt hardware 1, interrupt 1. Next is the timer 1 interrupt, and next two are TI and RI, nothing but the location. Okay, for interrupt TI and RI, and its ROM location. Okay, it is ROM location 0023H. That is the location of the interrupts. Okay, you have to know all the interrupts with their names and with their ROM locations. So next we'll see what are the steps in executing an interrupt. So what will happen? Whenever the 8051, it will first finish the instruction it is executing and saves the address in the stack. Okay, the stack it will be saved. Next, it allows the current status of all the interrupts internally. It jumps to a fixed location in memory called interrupt vector table. Okay, in the interrupt vector table, all these interrupts will be there. It will use this interrupt service routine, and it will find out the address, and it will jump to the location, and it will provide the service, and it will come back and resume its work. Okay, that are the steps. Next we'll see interrupt enable register. Okay, this is the interrupt enable register with 8 bits from D0 to D7. Here, these two, which I have put D and this ET2, they are not used. They will be always 0. Okay, and the first one, that is in D7, we have EA. This is very important. If it is set to 0, no interrupts will be acknowledged. That means no interrupts will be activated. Okay. If it is set to 1 only, the interrupts will be activated. So if you want to activate any of the interrupt, this EA should be 1. Compulsory it should be 1. That is important one. So if they ask you that if you want to disable all the interrupts, then what you have to do? You have to just clear this bit. Okay, that is one. Next one is ES. ES is for serial communication. ET1 is for timer 1. EX1 is external hardware 1, interrupt 1, that is INT1. Next, ET0 is for timer 0, and EX0 is for INT0. So these are the interrupts, these are the bits in interrupt enable register. Okay, so if I just ask you, like, if they tell you to show the instruction to enable serial interrupt. If you want to enable serial interrupt, then the serial interrupt bit should be made 1. Okay, this should be 1 for serial interrupt. And if you want to enable timer 0 interrupt, Timer 0 interrupt means ET0. This should be 1. ET0 should be 1. And if you, okay, ET0 should be 1 or 0. ET0 should be 1. Next, if you want to enable external hardware, okay, external hardware interrupt 1, which is that one? External hardware interrupt 1 is EX1. Okay, so to enable, you have to make it 1, and to disable, just make it 0. So all others, you make it 0. Fine. So what will be the value now? 1001 is 9. 0110 is 6. So 96H. So if the interrupt enabled register is loaded with 96H, that means the serial interrupt is enabled. Okay, external hardware interrupt is enabled and timer 0 interrupt is enabled. External hardware interrupt 1 is enabled. Okay. And if they ask you to, if you want to disable timer 0, what do you do? If you want to disable timer 0, so it should be made 0. This is disabling, okay? All others, just keep it 0. So it is nothing but 80H if you want to disable. If they ask you to how to disable all the interrupts in single instruction, you want to disable all the interrupts. Then what will be the instruction which can be used to disable all the interrupts? This EA should be made 0. That is the only thing. Making 0 means what? We have to clear. Clear which bit it is? It is the 7th bit. So clear IE.7. Okay? Clear IE.7. That is interrupt enables 7th bit. If you clear, that means all the interrupts are disabled. Okay? Hope you have understood now. This is about interrupt enable register. Next, we'll do one program so that you'll understand. First, we'll go with programming timers. Okay, I'll read the question. Write a program to displace the value of y. Write a program to displace the value of y at port 0. You just want to display y at port 0. Y at port 0 and n at, we have to display n at port 2. This thing should be done by microcontroller continuously. Okay, a value should be displayed at y, port 0 and at port 2. And what it should do, one more thing, it should also generate a square wave of 10 kilohertz. It should generate a square wave of 10 kilohertz in timer 0 mode 2 and the external frequency is 22 megahertz. So two things are happening here. One is it is generating the square wave and the one more is it is just sending the value y and n to port 0 and port 2. So for generating square wave, we will go with the interrupts. So since it is in 10 kilohertz, what they have given? They have given frequency. So whenever they give the frequency, what you have to do? You have to calculate the time period. Time period is nothing but 1 by f. Okay, you will get the complete time, that is both the pulse by 2. Okay, so the last answer will be nearly the time period or the pulse width is 0.05 milliseconds after dividing it by 2. Okay, this is the pulse width. How much is the extra they have given? It is 22 megahertz. This 22 megahertz should be divided by what? It should be divided by 12. So 22 into 10 power 6 divided by 12. So the answer, taking the time period of it, it is 0.545 microseconds. Okay. Next, this whatever we got, that should be divided by 0.545. So 0.05 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 0.545 into 10 power minus 6. So you will get the clocks. It is nearly equal to 91.74. See 91.74. What it is? It is timer 0 mode 2. What do you mean by mode 2? Mode 2 means it is of 8 bit. So what is the maximum count of 8 bit? It is nothing but 256. Getting it? So the maximum count is 256. So whatever the number you get, that should be subtracted from 256. So 256 minus 91.74. So you get one number as 164.26. So this is decimal. Convert it into hexa. It is 0A4. Okay. This is the hexa value. So this should be loaded in which register? It should be loaded in TH0. Okay. This is completed now. What we are going? We are going. Register. The first one should be 1 compulsory. Okay, these both are 0. Serial communication is not required. External. Okay, that is external interrupt. One INT1 also is not required. This is timer 1 is not required. External 1 also is not required. But timer 0 is required, and this is not required. Okay, all others are put 0. So what will be the value? The value will be 1000 is 8 and 0010 is 2. So it is 82H. So what should be loaded in interrupt enable? Interrupt enable, you have to load #82H. Okay, this is important. Next, in TH0, what should be loaded? We have found out the value here. It is #0A4H. Okay. That is completed. And now what should be done with this TMOD register? In what should be there in TMOD register? Since it is timer 0 mode 2. Timer 0 means, so timer 1 is all zeros. Okay. Timer 0 means, and mode 2. It is 0010. 0010. Okay, that is for timer 0 mode 2. So it will be loaded with 02H and 02H. So these three values hope you have followed. Okay, what this means? This is the interrupt enable register, i.e. it means that timer 0 interrupt is enabled. Okay, timer 0 interrupt is enabled, and we are generating a square wave of with a pulse width or with a frequency of 10 kilohertz. Fine. So we'll see the program now. Start with ORG. Fine. After ORG with going with 000H. Just give a long jump for main. It should come for the main program. Main program we have filled the values here. Okay. So which is the interrupt? Our interrupt is it is what? TF0. Okay. Interrupt is TF0. So this address should be used. You should know that. TF0 address is what? 000B. So that address should be written here for interrupt. Because it is timer 0 interrupt. So 000BH is written. What it should happen there? A square wave should be generated. Just complement P1.2. They have told where to generate the square wave. It is at the second bit of port 1. Okay. Next, just return interrupt. This much is the interrupt program. Next, this is our main program. Okay. The main program is here. In main program, we have loaded in TMOD register, TH, that is timer 0 register, and interrupt enable register. Next what we have to write here, set bit. Which bit should be set now? Which timer should be set? Which timer it is? It is timer 0. So set bit
0.
Good. 0. This much is finite. Okay. And next, this is all about. Next, what they have told, one more thing, what this microcontroller should be doing? You should just load the Y to port 0 and N to port 2, and this, see, this will be looping here. These two functions will be done by the microcontroller. Okay, this will be doing this work. Microcontroller will be completing this work, or it will be executing the work at that time. Okay, parallelly this timer will be generating the square wave. So whenever it wants the service of the microcontroller, it will interrupt. Okay, it will tell the microcontroller that it wants the service. Then the microcontroller will go and provide the service. Okay, that is shown by this 82H. Okay, this 82H will tell that there is an interrupt from the timer 0. So this is one of the program where interrupts will be used. Okay, for timers. Next we'll see one more example for serial communication. So what are the fixed values that should be loaded in serial communication? Do you remember? In T mode, SCON, some values they don't change. First I will read the question. Okay. Write a program in which the 8051 reads data from P1. Okay, it is reading data from port 1 and writes it to port 2. From port 1 it will be writing the data to port 2 continuously. Okay, while giving a copy of it to the serial. So part of is 11.0592. Okay, for serial communication this extra will be 11.0592 and the baud rate, that is the speed is 9600. Okay, can you tell the decimal value of 9600?
-3, ma'am.
It is -3. So we have to go with -3. So hope you can tell the values also now. So we'll jump to the main program. Right. Next, what is the address of serial communication? Address of serial communication. ORG 30H. We have come to the main program. Okay. Make port 1 as input port. So send it, make all the bits high by #FFH. When you have write the alphabet, please write the 0. Okay. What should be loaded in T mode now? T mode register for serial communication. And what should be loaded in TH1? Hope you all know. What should be loaded in serial communication? One more register what we use? It is SCON. Should be in IE. So which bit should be set? It is for timer 1 mode 2. Everybody has to tell one values now. Just see. Set it whatever values the send for OA. Then whatever is there in, if I write till down you may not see, right? Whatever is there in A sent to the SBUF also. SBUF is the register that is used for serial communication. Okay. Next short jump. Again come for back. Next we'll write the serial communication program. Jump on. Okay, we'll continue that. First, will you tell me the values now? First, it is start with the ORG. Okay, it is going to the main program. What should be written? What is the value here? Serial communication. What is the address? What is the ROM location for serial communication? ROM location for serial communication is 23. It is 0023H. Okay, this is the value for serial communication. For timer 0, what we wrote? 000B we wrote na. Same like that you have to write for 0023H. Okay. Next, it will come for serial. Here it will come. We'll write that later. Next, we'll write our main program here. Okay. In main program, first what they have told, you have to just send the data to port 1. So it should receive the data. So port 1 is made as input by setting all the bits, that is FFH. Now what should be loaded with TMOD register? It is timer 1 mode 2. If it is timer 1 mode 2, what will be the values here?
0x0.
It is 20 hash 20h. Okay, timer 1 mode 2. In TH1 what? Since it is 9600 baud rate, it is -3. In SCON is always fixed. Hash 50h. Okay. Next we have to check now. What we have to load in interrupt enable register. In interrupt enable register, what we have to load? Okay, I will write here only directly. Okay. Interrupt enable register. What should be the first bit? The first bit should be high. Okay. Then only it will be enabled. So interrupt enable. See, it is communication. So it should be 1. So ES is 1. Next, all the 4 bits are zeros. 0, 0, 0, 0. This I am writing in bits. Okay, I am not writing in hexadecimal. This written in bits. If you write in hexadecimal, how much it will be? It will be 90H. In hexadecimal, it is 90H. Okay, you can write in bits also. You can write in hexadecimal also. Okay, and next, which bit which should be set now? Which timer? It is TR1. Okay, timer 1 is set. This is what for serial communication. Next, whatever they have told, whatever is there in the port 1, it should go for A. Okay, accumulator. That is for parallel communication. Next, whatever is there in the A, it should be sent for SBUF. Okay, this is for serial communication. Fine. And whatever is there in the A, it should send for port 2 also. This is again a parallel communication and short jump back. This will be continuously happening in the microcontroller. Now we have to write the program for serial communication. That means whether transmitting and receiving is completed or no. See here, one important thing is for transmitting and receiving, we have only one interrupt. So we don't know whether the interrupt, whenever the interrupt is raised, we don't know whether it is for transmitting or receiving. So you have to write both the conditions. Okay, both the conditions should be written. So first, serial is the label. Okay, jump bit TI. First it will check for transmit interrupt. Okay, if a transmit interrupt is true, it has to jump for one label. Just think it is S1. Okay, think that it is going to jump for S1. So what we have to write near S1? Just if it is transmitting, we had written already. After transmitting, it has to clear and it has to return from the interrupt. If it is not TI, that means what? That means it is not transmitting. That is, it is receiving. So to receive, what it should do? So whatever is there in the SBUF, that should come for the accumulator. Okay, in SBUF, whatever is there, it should come for the accumulator. After receiving, what it should do? It should clear RI. Clear RI and return from the interrupt. See, two important concepts are here. We'll make it clear. The first one is for receiving. Whatever is there in the accumulator, that should come for the SBUF, the first one. Okay. The second is receiving. That is, whatever in the SBUF, it should go for the accumulator. Here it is transmitting and here it is receiving. Okay. Since we have only one interrupt for both should be checked here. We are writing both the conditions here. Okay. And using the instruction jump bit. Return from the interrupt and end. So this is one interrupts where it is used for, this interrupt used for serial communication for 9600 baud rate. Hope you have understood. Thank you.